Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Last week, Republicans on the panel they call the Select Panel on Infant Lives, and we call the Select Panel to attack women's health, voted to recommend criminal contempt against a small biotech company and its owner, and also released publicly the name of a doctor who has been interviewed privately by that panel. These actions are a disgrace to the House. Over the past year, the Select Panel Republicans have abused congressional authority to harass, intimidate, and bully doctors and researchers with the ultimate goal of driving companies away from fetal tissue research and ending life-saving research. They have done this largely out of the public view, and ironically, at the same time that Chair Blackburn and other leading Republicans profess support for researchers and for funding 21st century cures. Tragically, their stealth campaign against life-saving research is working. One tissue procurement company informed the panel that, quote, due in large part to the costs borne from having to respond to these congressional inquiries, our client is no longer doing business, unquote. The University of California at Los Angeles, UCLA, told us that, quote, recent national events have increased the challenge of obtaining the fetal tissue, unquote, that is needed for ongoing research. The negative publicity about fetal tissue research also delayed publication of a study whose findings have the potential to impact, quote, development for therapies for HIV, cancer, multiple sclerosis, and organ transplant rejection, unquote. UCLA went on to explain that one lab, quote, has reduced their effort on studies that require fetal tissue despite the importance of this research due to the concern about personal safety, unquote. Rockefeller University similarly told the panel that there is now, quote, a paucity of sources from which to obtain human fetal tissue, creating roadblocks to the conduct of important biomedical research, unquote, and that one laboratory is, quote, currently unable to perform research that it hopes will lead to cures for human disease, unquote. Other researchers have reported that promising studies and clinical trials for neurological conditions such as MS and Alzheimer's disease have been halted or delayed due to reduced availability of fetal tissue for research. Other leading institutions, including Harvard and Yale School of Medicine and the University of Minnesota, have confirmed that the importance of fetal tissue as a tool for understanding and treating diseases and conditions that impact millions of Americans is being threatened. The Republican attack on this research are particularly troubling as scientists race to understand how the Zika virus impacts fetal brain development. A leading association of research scientists has explained that, quote, the use of donated fetal tissue, including placenta tissue, has provided the best understanding of how Zika viruses behave in the body, unquote. These insights, quote, are already guiding the development of drugs that may protect the unborn baby from the ravages of the Zika virus. The Republican Select Committee's dangerous witch hunt has put this life-saving research at risk. It is also endangering individual lives. Last Monday, Chair Blackburn publicly released the name of a healthcare provider who was privately interviewed by the panel. This doctor has already been the target of harassment and threats and repeatedly asked the panel to safeguard her identity. Just last week, her lawyer informed Chair Blackburn that her university had to increase security as a result of a prior leak of information by panel Republicans. Even knowing this, they released her name. This has gone on long enough. We are elected officials. It is our opportunity and responsibility to make things better for the people that we serve. That privilege and the power that accompanies it should not be abused. This select panel should be brought to an immediate end. And along with my remarks, I'm also entering into the record letters from the University of California at Los Angeles, Rockefeller University, and University Council regarding the danger that panel Republicans have created for this doctor and her students. And with that, I yield back the balance of my time.